All right. It says we're live and we're recording and life should be good. Can everybody see us okay, hear us okay? Life happy? I know there's a little bit of a delay, so chat will be just a little bit behind us. I think that's in case I say potty words. There's no magic button to hit or nothing. like from the days of old, from my radio days. Hey, Megan sees and hears us. That's good. Yes, I've already started my little concoction here. It makes me feel better when I put stuff in a sports drink. It's healthy for you, just because it's in the sports bottle at all. Oh, hey everyone!
I guess Rondo has electrolytes.
Yeah, exactly. I suppose I should say who in the world we are, right? So my name's Kevin DeLong. I'm with Cyber Social Hub, and with me here, and I don't know which side he's on because it always messes my video up with this. All right, either side. Dave Ryberg from Truxton Forensics. So welcome, Dave, for being the latest victim on the program. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I need a little housekeeping stuff first off, though. So this is, again, a newer platform to most people. It's not like, WebEx. It's definitely not like Zoom. It's different, right? And it's designed to be more social and interactive, and I love it. We just found this, and it's actually called Crowdcast. I highly recommend it. We don't make any money off recommending it, but I highly recommend it if you're giving webinars or anything of that nature, just because of the ease of it. It's so awesome. Rashish, is that how you say your name? Hello. I think that's close. I'm terrible. If your name's not Bob or Kevin or Dave, I'm messing it up, and I'm sorry. That's just my lack of culture in my life. So down along the bottom, I want everyone to take a look down there somewhere. You should see like ask a question down there somewhere. Rajishi. I'm going to mess this up, man. And I may have to have you come up just to pronounce your name.
You can say Raj.
If they like that, yeah. So along the bottom now, where my finger is hitting, I see ask a question. Now, whether that's where it's actually at or not, I don't know. Raj's works good. Makes my life easier. You like how we just jump back and forth between these topics, and it's just a constant flow in my brain the way it switches. But ask a question. If you guys have questions at any point about anything, whether it's about Cyber Social Hub, or whether it's about Truxton, or one of these awesome drinks he's about to make for us at some point, just ask. It can be really anything. We don't limit the questions. This is more of a relaxed atmosphere. I mean, I got my Trust in the Force t-shirt on. I'm not even anything else, and I may or may not have pants on based off my bare knee right here. I'm just saying, I got shorts on. It's okay. I don't want to give you guys that
lost
vision.
All the lady viewers.
Lost everyone for that matter. So it's just really casual of how we conduct these. So ask a questions down there. Now we may do a poll as well, just to find out a little bit about you guys in the audience, some of your things that you do with digital forensics, or what's your favorite drink mix. I mean, whatever it could be. But there's also one called polls down there. We don't have any going right now, but let me create those as we go along. And then finally, you're going to see over there, I think you can probably see a people one, and that's going to show you everyone that's here in the room with us right now. So you can go and cyber stalk people, I guess, or just say hi to folks. I don't know the real reason for that. But also, finally, it's this little chat button way down the bottom. It doesn't really say chat. It says say something nice. You can be as rude to me as you want. I won't take it personally. It doesn't have to be really nice if you don't want it to be. But that's where you actually go in and chat, which I see most of you guys have already figured that out. So I think those are the basics. Now, let me ask the audience one thing here real quick before we get started. Clear in the lower left-hand corner of your browser, down wherever I'm pointing here. Do you guys have a thing called Clip Moment? Because we're still fairly new to this platform. And I wanted to see if there was something called the Clip moment there. Okay, Megan says she sees it. Awesome. So that's a pretty neat little feature there. And what that does, it creates literally a 15-second clip of what's going on up here on the main stage. And you can actually push that out then to social media or whatever. Just, it's always worse. It never fails. When someone creates a still, I'm going like that or something just crazy. So I understand you can't make ugly pretty. It's just not going to happen. But you can feel free to use that. And I don't know if there is a share button up there. Dave, do you see a share button? Because you're not all logged in as an admin. Megan, you may see that as well. Up along the top bar where it shows your login information. Hey, awesome. There's a share button up there too. And so it has the social media stuff going on up there too. So if you want to kick out directly to your social media and you're logged in already to an account in whatever browser that you're using, you can kick that out too. So you can see this platform is designed to be really social. Also, we have the ability to invite everyone, or not everyone, just invite people up on stage. If you have a question. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump over and paste this into chat here. If you have a question and you want to come up onto the viewers here, the camera and microphone blaring, just go ahead and click that link. That's just going to allow you to set up your mic and your video within the browser, because we are limited to browser security. That's one of the reasons I like this as well. It's not Zoom or anything. Even though we do use Zoom, we like Zoom. So not saying anything bad about Zoom, but this is all browser based and it's pretty cool. All right. With that said, Dave,
how you doing?
I think I got the basics out of the way. I've been meaning to design some slides for that for the last, 4 casts ago. I just haven't. I keep forgetting every time.
We've all had enough PowerPoints.
Yeah,
please.
I know.
No more slides.
kind of takes away from the
at
the
least
fun.
Prezi, something different.
Right. And the second wait a minute, did you actually set your booth up back there in the background?
Yeah. So with the COVID-19, I've repurposed the basement where somebody else used to dwell down here with a bunch of musical instruments. So I took everything that we typically take to shows and set it up here so that we can do our little virtual dog and pony show. And, I don't know if everybody else has gone through the same thing. There seem to be 10 webinars a day, and it's they're all the same. And if you can't, I talk with my hands a lot. So if you can't use prop, if you can't at least interact with people, 10 slides and a bunch of just screencasting, I don't know. It just loses that intimacy. It's kind of what I miss about the shows. So you get to see everybody that you haven't seen in a long time.
Yep.
Network with
people
customers.
That you don't really care to see are there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I could say that. Maybe you can't say that, but like I said, we're a little different here. Just relaxing. But no, I do miss that. You get to see a lot of people that you haven't seen in a while, and the camaraderie is just not there because of all this. And suddenly the world is just chaos right now, which I don't really want to talk about any of that nonsense that's going on in the world right now, just because I'm here to learn what you have for us. And we just started this new thing, and I've got to go back and get a couple of the guests that appeared prior to, but I found this little thing, and yours is going to probably arrive tomorrow. I was hoping it haven't to you today. It's this little awesome thing right here. And you already know that it's coming. I've already told you and warned you to watch out for it. But what this is, you guys are like, what in the world is that? It looks like a really big bullet casing. Well, it is. It's a really big bullet casing. It's actually only a small chunk of it. They cut most of it off. The actual casing is somewhere like this. And then the round that goes in it makes it about like up to here. This is an actual, and I kid you not, I had the certification setting right here. Yeah, I bent it all up. So if you guys aren't familiar, I'm going to do this crazy thing with a close air support vehicle called the A-10 Warthog. Oh yeah, the A-10 Warthog. It's close air support, best friend of guys on the ground, right? And this is actually a certificate of authentication that this shot glass is what this is. Was actually fired out of an A-10 Warthog at the training grounds. Now, because the actual real rounds that they fire, Dave, are depleted uranium. So you probably want to drink that. I mean, I don't know. But so it's certified that, hey, this is a training round that they use, and it's really cool. I'll post the link. I think Megan might have it too, of where you can get these things, and it's just freaking awesome. So you got one coming, and I owe other people one later on. Oh, Amber's in here. They make them with candles too, Amber. If you'd rather have a candle, because I know you were on the on a cast, the last one that we did. So it's up to you. I'll let you decide. They make them a candle, or they make it actually a shot glass too, which this thing's heavy. I mean, it has oomph to it. It's pretty awesome. And it's called, hold on, I'll tell you what it is real quick here. LuckyShotUSA.com. Oh, there it is. Megan posted it. Amber, don't. I know the system probably had to censor you. Did you censor yourself, or did the system censor you? You censored yourself? All right.
My brilliant idea of coming up with a chat 7-second delay.
Yeah.
Who needs this stuff? We can make all the money that way.
Well, this one will be on its way to you then, Amber. I have this as well. So on it will be.
That's all.
I ordered a bunch of. I just got them all in yesterday. They came in finally. It took a while.
Well, if the dog starts barking, we'll know it's here, right?
Yep. Yours is probably going to come tomorrow,
yeah.
I guess. But with that, we have the main topic is called DFIR Mixology here today, right? So kind of, I try to leave it to the people that are coming on, what you want to talk to, and about that extra fun thing to do. And I've known you a number of years, Dave. It was no surprise that you picked the topic that you did. And I was actually glad you did. So let's talk about that a little bit well, first, criminy, I should go back. You can tell I'm just not with it today. It's Wednesday, right? Let's learn a little bit about you, right?
Me?
Yeah.
How did a nice guy like me end up in digital forensics?
Yeah, because see, I already know your story, and I suffer from what we call in yeah, I do need more of my sports drink, Megan. Exactly. I suffer from what we call in my main company is the curse of knowledge, right? We just already know. We expect everyone else just to know it. So how did you get started in digital forensics and with Truxton?
It actually started at a small coffee shop. And unlike most of the other people in this field, I don't have a background in law enforcement. I don't have a background in computers. So my life has been pretty much in technical sales and technical marketing. If I have a gift, it's being able to figure out complicated things and get to the bottom of cause and effect. So I love to take things apart. And this reminds me of something that Amber said to me years ago when she's trying to recruit new digital forensics people into our field. And I think she said something along the lines of, when you get up in the morning and you make your toast, are you wondering about how to take the toaster apart? And that, I think most of the people in DFIR, we want to get to the bottom of things. We want to know how things tick. So before I got into digital forensics, I ran a company that specialized in GPS equipment. And I used to work for Garmin. out in Kansas. And when I left there, I was in their marketing and advertising department. I left there and started my own company that specialized in making videotapes, instructional videotapes and DVDs on how to use GPS. Because when it first came out, it wasn't in a phone, and it was typically a bunch of old Cabela's grandpas and Bass Pro folks out lost in the woods. And they're looking at these things and they're like, how does it work? And when I worked there, our tech support guys would just get a million phone calls. I'm lost. It won't turn on. Everything from the batteries being put in upside down to, oh, it needs batteries? I thought you just shook it, So I did that for 23 years. And it branched out into not just videotapes, but carrying cases and antennas and all sorts of weird customized GPS solutions that eventually went into counter IED devices. And our antennas and cabling systems were in Bradleys, M1 tanks, all sorts of really cool stuff that we just really never had an idea that would happen. And that basically took over for all the sporting goods business that we had. And doing that for a long, long time. And frankly, got just a little bored, it was just kind of the same thing every day. And when my kids were, I don't know, 12 or 13 years old, my office was in this little Williamsburg looking place. And it was next to a 7-Eleven. And next to the 7-Eleven, there was a really nice kind of high-end shopping center. So I had like a Ann Taylor, a Talbot's, and that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a place called the Daily Grind that was in there. And I wake up at ungodly hours. So if it's 3-4 o'clock in the morning, I'm usually awake, working, doing something. And I would go to the office at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and that coffee shop didn't open until 8 a.m. And I'm like, how can you have a coffee shop that doesn't open till 8? So I'd stake out in front of the coffee shop, and when the workers would come in, it's like, oh, sorry. It's like, okay.
They wouldn't think you're the homeless guy and try to kick you out of the way or anything, would they?
I dressed a lot nicer back then, so I guess it didn't really matter.
Stop peeing on our sidewalk.
So eventually we got to know the people that ran it, and they said, okay, I tell you what, don't come to the front door. When you're ready, we get here a half an hour before opening. So just come to the back door and give me your little secret knock there, and we'll let you in. Okay, cool. So I go over there, I knock on the door, they'd let me in, and they'd sell me my coffee. And then that changed one day where they were pulling scones from the oven or something like that. And it's, I'll make the coffee. I'll get it myself. And eventually, I'd knock once, I'd open the door, I'd go start the entire big pot of coffee, grind the beans, do all the stuff. And okay. And this place started expanding, and they're like, oh, we're going to start franchising. I said, man, that's a great idea. And so they said, well, we really would like somebody to buy this location. You'd be perfect for this. I was like, just because I'm in here all the time doesn't mean I want to own the place. I thought about it, and I said, well, okay. I said, but if I open it up, can I open at whatever time I want? He said, sure. Like at 5:30? Yeah. And I said, sure, we'll buy it. And I thought, my dream was, hey, my kids can learn how to run a business and that sort of stuff. It'd be cool and fun. I get to have coffee and gelato anytime I wanted. And none of that really worked out as planned. Everything breaks in a coffee shop. And it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot more work than you would ever guess or think it would be. So shorten up the story here. What happened is we would do events like a chocolate event to help the local universities, music theater, and that sort of stuff. And these fundraisers, we would do radio advertising. And the guy that sold us the advertising space for the radio station up here, he's brothers with the CEO and the co-CEO of Probity.
Oh, okay.
So this guy's name is Mario Ordonez, and he's the brother of Marcus and Manny, who started Probity, who's the company that developed Truxton.
Right. Okay.
And Mario and I would talk all the time. And he said, you sell to cops with your fleet tracking stuff. How do you reach those guys? I said, well, you just talk to them, and it's not talking, it's listening. What's their problem? And if you can approach it like that, then you should have pretty good success. Yeah, they need some help on that sort of stuff. And one day they finally asked me, said, hey, what would you think of like a marketing plan? This is our product. And I looked at it and I was like, I don't even know what the heck this even is. Okay. But it doesn't really matter what it is, right? You're just selling it. So the idea was like, okay, in order to sell it, I need to understand what it does. So I dug into it, looked at it, said, oh, I get it. And then I talked to my cop friends. Oh, yeah, okay, we get it. We use Celebrate to do this extraction. We use Paraben to use, to do this. So it was fascinating to me, and I was just kind of finishing up. I've been doing the same thing for a long time. So we went golfing, and Marcus made a 65-foot putt. I gave him the read, and he hired me after that. Not as a caddy, as a sales guy. Right? It was a great putt.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so when I joined Probity, they put me with Sam and Paul, who are the main developers of Truxton, and those guys are brilliant. And they're not only brilliant, they're patient, they're humble, they explain everything, and they just I couldn't be happier to be around such great people. I mean, they're just, it's amazing what they can do.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to meet both those guys, and they're just they're good guys. They're good people.
Yeah.
And Sam is actually really nerdy, and I dig that. And he's all into Star Trek too. So
Star Trek, Star Wars, anything.
I'm waiting to see it happen in chat because I just stirred the pot over there.
Yeah, he might join us. He might jump in. He might surprise you there.
Oh, you absolutely should.
It was learning like being sprayed with a fire hose, but it was great. And that's what was really cool about the whole community. Going to the shows, and all the people I've met, you, Amber, everybody I've encountered, has had fascinating stories, and everybody had, I guess what you would call it is everybody not only had a story, everybody had a frustration about, it's my job to fulfill this role. It's a really important role, yet we're underfunded, we're short on manpower. It's impossible to keep up with the technology. The tools are always changing. I can't get the training that I want or I need, because that means I'm not on the street doing the rest of my job. They didn't say, okay, you do digital forensics and now you don't have to do all that other stuff. It seems like most of the folks that I've run in, at least at the small law enforcement agencies, they have to wear 10 different hats.
Right.
And when they described the process of how they would do a digital forensics investigation, I was shocked, because it just didn't make any sense to me. So I said, okay, you mean to tell me that, okay, I've got 2 phones, a hard drive, and a couple of USB sticks, and you're trying to make a decision to arrest somebody, prosecute somebody, whatever. And basically what they told me is, well, we just kind of put this stuff in a box and we send it to a county or a state lab that has more money than we do. And I was like, well, what happens? I was like, 3 to 6 months later, we get a box back with the evidence in it. Here's the funds back and some CDs and some piles of reports.
Where the voodoo happens. Yep.
And it's like,
That's it.
so you're kind of taking all these reports from different things and just pasting them together. Yeah, we use Excel. I'll go in there, I'll open up this report, and I'll take this and I'll paste it all together. And that didn't sound too fun to me. And Truxton was the very first forensics tool that I ever learned.
Right.
So I had never seen how folks had used different products for 20 years. I didn't have an understanding of, hey, when we search through a file pile, it means this. And then I'm thinking, oh, the Pulse nightclub, 135 phones. Great. How long does it take to image all those? Okay. And now I have 135 different UFED files.
Yeah.
You mean I have to look at each one? It's going to be the 12th of never before you get anywhere. You have to find a way to automate it, aggregate it, put it together, and help the boots on the ground. So
exactly. Like when we got started, I can't remember what year. I think it was 2008. I went through IASIS, 7 or 8, something like that. And if you really want to learn a forensic tool, it's called Disk Edit, I believe is the name of it. For any of the old school forensic people in chat, don't pain yourself. It's a hex editor. Essentially, they go here, do all your forensics right here. Okay, yeah, I see. I riled the room up. When they go here, you got to do the cases in this. It's like, what? What are you trying to do to me? So yeah, no, I feel your pain, but in hindsight, I know that was more of a learning experience, so we understood what tools we're doing. But even then, there was a handful of tools that were out there. So yeah, and it's kind of a big mixing pot, really.
Yeah, and that's kind of the idea of digital forensics, and the metaphor of either cooking or mixology or everything. What we really need to endeavor to do, if we're ever going to stay ahead of this, we need to find a way to put, when we talk about big data, it's a 2 terabyte Samsung T5. Yeah, okay, that's not really big data, but I have 100 of them. And I also have 200 phones. So I don't think it's so much there you go.
I just keep a T5, just in case. You never know.
Do you always walk around with a hockey puck in your pocket?
That's right.
Yes, I do. Bonus for anybody that gets that reference there. So anyway, so they're trying to find a way to aggregate this all together and present actionable information, do the correlation, do the mundane work, let the computer do what it needs to do behind the curtain, and save the abstract thought for human brains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have saved a lot.
Yeah, and the other thing that it brought up, once I first got my toes dipped in this, I was kind of wondering what the relationships between the different companies were and things like that. And I was really kind of surprised because most of my experience in GPS and other places were, the Magellans hate the Garmins, who hate the Lorenzes, who hate this. And it was kind of refreshing to get into an industry where it was like, look, we're all kidding ourselves if we think that a single tool is going to be able to solve all of our problems.
Right.
So, right. It's kind of like pulling a carburetor off an old Volkswagen, an air-cooled Volkswagen. I once upon a time bought a wrench that was was a 13 and a 10 millimeter wrench. And it was specifically designed in a half circle so you could unbolt the carburetor from it. So you just pop it on there and that sort of stuff. And hey, it's the right tool. I used that tool 11 times. But I would have paid $500 for it because there's the alternative of reaching back in there and doing that sort of stuff. And, it had another crappy old car, a 1967 Austin Healey Sprite. So you can imagine my rather large person being in basically an MG midget, right? Roll bar that came up to about here. That's probably why I don't have hair. But anyway, that had dual carburetors, and you had to tune them. So they made this really cool thing that you take the air filters off and you put that on top of the carburetor, and it would measure the airflow going in there, and would have a little bead that would go up the little cylinder. So if, they both went up halfway, hey, you knew that you were in sync, you were in tune, you're good to go. I didn't have that money at that time, so I used an frozen concentrated orange juice can. There's another quick reference for you, right? And you just use that and some duct tape, and you just listen to the sound and be able to hear what was going on that way.
Is that the thing you're talking about, what I'm showing right now?
What's that?
Can you see that, or I need to make that bigger? I think I'm sharing the wrong thing. Hold on, let me.
No, I can. Pop it up there. It looked like an MG midget. Anyway, now that we got rid of Kevin, we can get on to more important stuff, right? Is he coming back? Anyway, so back to the idea is that the camaraderie of the folks in digital forensics is kind of nice to. Hey, welcome back, Kevin.
Hey, thanks. I'll be back in a minute. I got to go get a refill.
Anyway, that everybody wants to help everybody solve the problem, because we're after, there's terrible things that happen in the world. And, everything that I had done to this point was just selling stuff just to sell it. But actually sell something that makes a difference, that helps people catch bad people or puts an end. That's very much like it. If you zoom in on that, zoom in on one of the wheels and see if it has a hubcap that says AH on it. Yep, that's it. That is it.
All right. And I don't know if I will die again if I stop sharing
you probably will.
This particular screen, but yeah.
Yeah, it should be British Racing Green. Mine was red. But you know what? It was a fun little car, and I put mag wheels on it. I sold those hubcaps for more than I paid for the entire car, and then bought all the parts to rebuild the car.
Nice.
It worked out pretty well. So,
nice.
Anyway.
Right. I may or may not beg. I'm going to hit close this on this thing, and we'll see what happens
we'll see if you go away.
Yeah, if I die. I don't know why it does that. I can see everything fine. I'm still here. It just audience here. I don't know.
Here, yeah, we've lost our audience.
I'm like,
you're still here.
I'm like floating over my body, like I've died. I can see everything, but I have no control over anything. Well, we find little bugs here. But
yeah,
it's all good. It's all good.
So anyway, that's how I got into forensics, and that's where I'm at now. I love it. It's fascinating. I've learned so much in the last 4 or 5 years. I'm surprised you can teach an old dog this many new tricks, but it's absolutely fascinating, and I love the product that we make and that I sell. And one of the best parts about it is that it aggregates from other partners. So I never have to, I'm not on an island by myself fighting with everybody.
Right. What I've seen, I've been in the industry. I started forensics back in 02-ish, 03-ish, something like that. And, for the most part, everyone gets along pretty well. It's like any other family, there's siblings that fight, and, sometimes you just hate your brother or sister, or that cousin out there that you just can't stand because they're always drunk, whatever. But, it's like anything else. Everyone's pretty good in the industry, and which is what I like. And there's questions, Dave.
Okay.
There are questions.
All right.
Amber asked me, excuse me.
Oh,
Says,
I am. Yes.
do you
That
eat
has,
popcorn? Is the first question here.
that's for you, Kevin.
Yeah, and
That's not
I'm
for
guessing
Mary.
it's about this thing back here, right? Yeah, so I do. I have a popcorn addiction, and I bought
Really?
this. Yeah, I love this thing. Now I haven't this
Oh,
one. I haven't fired this one up in probably about a month now, so it's definitely due. I just took it apart and cleaned it not too long ago. That's why if you can see right here,
that's why you're in forensics, right,
there's
Amber?
the yeah
He had to take his popcorn machine
there's a
off.
metal door that's hanging off of it a little bit. I just got to pop it back on. But I love that thing. It's awesome. Maybe I should have popped it for the show here. That would
If
be
you could have
fun.
smell-o-vision or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That'd be
if you
the
get the
awesome.
big stuff, so you're getting the pouches that are kind of like this coagulated color that doesn't really occur in nature, and that's what you pour in there. Is that?
There's a couple different things inside of it. I have. Well, heck, I can just show you. There's a little door on the side there, and
We're going off on tangents here.
yeah, that's what this is about, right? And it's this big thing of movie popcorn, and then I have a bigger thing of just this raw, oily butter stuff that does not, exactly like you said, occur anywhere in nature, but it's delicious. It's so good. But
they only put the nutrition facts on the 55-gallon drums of it.
Right, they don't want you to know it.
I don't want you to know what the hell's in there.
But they actually sell the actual little packs. You can buy them and from movie theaters, and you dump. It's a little thing. Half of it's a plastic bag, and there's a strip of oil and there's a strip of seeds, and you just pull it clear across. And that hopper up top, you just dump it into the hopper once it gets hot, and that it's actually a movie popcorn machine, and it's so good, so good. Yeah, I can't even say. What did I miss? What did I miss? I missed something.
We're talking about you.
Oh, all right. Next question. This one's for you, actually, not for me. It says, Dave, are you still trying hot sauces?
Oh yeah, I love hot sauce.
Oh, you're already.
I kind of moved on to making my own. And Ron
Really?
Mays, the esteemed president of the HTCIA Mid-Atlantic chapter, when we met, we went to a place that had what was it? It was like the love sauce or something like that. That was pretty good. But I've started making my own. And if we're back to ingredients again, and Ron, what I've found is that when you make hot sauce, your own barbecue sauce, I found 3 ingredients that it just makes everything better. The first is those little cans of chipotle peppers and adobe sauce. Okay, so really nasty stuff, but you pull it out and it has that kind of brown kind of sauce on it.
Mm-hmm.
The key is that you put it in a food processor. So when you put it in a food processor and nail it, it's chopping up the seeds.
Okay.
It's increasing the heat on the seeds and giving you that deep, complex flavor.
Yeah.
That's really important. The second ingredient is smoked paprika. So, most paprika is Hungarian and that sort of stuff. But again, if you're looking for the depth, you can find it where Megan and you live out in the Amish markets. You can get big tubs of it and that sort of stuff.
Was that a slam on Ohio?
No, I like visiting there. You get to see Bigfoot, and you get to go to the Amish market and buy 5-gallon drums of smoked paprika. And they look at you like, what the hell are you going to do with that? Like barbecue sauce.
Right.
And last but not least is, imagine it comes back to mixology again, is brewer's malt. So rather than using molasses, so if you go online and you get the stuff, if you were to brew your own beer, so if you get like an Amber's brewer's malt, so that way it's much better than ketchup or anything like that when you put it in there. And again, you're just getting a depth of flavor and smokiness to the sauce. And all those 3 things can be used in chili as well. So even if you just take a regular old chili recipe and add those 3 ingredients in there.
Mm-hmm.
And what's cool about it is it's not, radioactive hot. So it's not like, wow, he ate a ghost pepper. Woo! Yeah,
Thanks.
half your tongue's gone or whatever.
Thanks.
It's a slow burn,
Mm.
kind of like the chili and the sauce, like the music, a slow blues burn. It's just kind of going.
Right.
It's gonna get there, but it's not just like where you dip the spoon in there or something like that, and only half of it comes out. Yeah. So, but yeah, love the sauces. Try them all the time. And then the other thing I've started to do is when I find a great sauce, even at a restaurant, tip the person a little bit extra, and they'll usually give you a carry-out jar of their sauce. So
Really,
when I make my barbecue sauce now, each one has a theme. So again, back to Ohio, I had the Dover Magical, the new Mexican restaurant that opened there. We bought like a quart of that stuff and put it in there because it's so good. But when it mixes up with everything else, it was great. So it's just bringing everything together, aggregating it in one pot, and you get the benefit and the goodness of the end result.
and it's kind of like the the goodness of Truxton. Then is kind of where it's all referred to without going back on the nerdy side of
we
things.
Definitely can. And Truxton's it's really come a long way in almost 5 years since I've been there. So got a lot of exciting things in that. We've really we just introduced and in the middle of assembling our first forensic rack. And it's a 1 petabyte standalone plug and play rack.
Schmolies.
Yeah. So the concept is, all right, I have a small country and I need to do digital forensics, right? So rather than trying to say, okay, I'm going to go buy this hardware, and you go through this procurement cycle or anything like that, and what are you going to use? So we put a bunch of HCI servers together, so combined integrated processing and storage together. Added in a database appliance, and then the enterprise version of Truxton. And it's going to smoke.
Awesome.
Going to churn through.
Is there a place now? Real quick, there's a green button. I've already turned it on down there. That'll just take people to the website if they click it. The call to action down there.
That's not on the website yet.
Okay, that's what the question is. Yeah. And is that something you're able to give them some information on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so absolutely. we can put it in chat, or we can kick an email out to everybody about it either way.
And that's what looks like I froze.
I still hear you.
Huh? Okay. Is that good?
Just hit refresh on your browser. You'll pop right back. Okay. If not, the audio sounds great still. And if I lose you completely, right, I'll pull you back in. It says waiting for Dave to reconnect. Is that what it said for me too when I was gone for a brief moment? Yeah, just waiting for me to reconnect. There he is. Oh, it switched sides. Did it switch sides for you guys too? Dave's now on my other side.
Okay. What? My camera's frozen.
Your mouth does not move. You're probably the best.
My wife is seen. Probably go down. That's the software I want. I'll pay $1 million for it. $2 million.
Keep his mouth shut.
Oh my gosh.
So funny. Yeah, I don't know what's up. Maybe I'm gonna try turning your camera off here for a second.
Okay.
And I'll
turn it back on.
Yep. And then we'll kick it back on here now. Nope. Still that same old.
Give me 1 second here. Let me go over here. I'm going to turn the actual source camera on and off real quick.
Yeah, right on.
Does anybody watch the IT Crowd?
No.
A British TV show called the IT Crowd. You need to look it up.
The IT Crowd. Awesome. Huh. I'm going to go look now. I'm looking it up. The IT Crowd. Very British looking, just from the images I'm seeing. Very British looking. Yeah, that's probably what happened, Dave, is that if you're using that external camera, I think you were using that Sony, weren't you? Or that, I think it was a Sony. Did he say a Sony or Canon? I can't remember.
It's a Canon, and it's
Oh.
giving me the blinking change your battery pack.
Do you have another battery pack?
I do not, of course.
I bought.
So let me share my screen and show you a little bit about Truxton. How's that?
Oh, bummer. So you're gonna have to. You can't even. And then there's no camera in that system you're using, is there?
No, I'm on a NUC.
Oh,
so I can plug it in and plug it back in again, but let's see. We can figure it out.
Does the trick? Yeah. Yeah, because
that's terrible.
We'll avoid the mixology part. Won't be in there. The part.
I can rejoin on a regular laptop. We can do it that way.
Yeah, if you can, go for it.
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll hang out for a minute.
Okay. The quality is going to go way down.
That's all right. That's all right. It's what it is. Keep trying to hide this mic, and I keep pushing it back because it's like right in my gut when it's way down here like this.
Yeah.
So everybody in the audience, who we got? We got 7 people in here. We're slowly growing, which is appreciated. And Ron, I think I've met you. Have I not? I think I've met you before. Was it in Myrtle Beach, maybe? Dinner at some weird, maybe.
No, you're thinking of
I'm thinking of another guy.
Brian Carrier. We had dinner with Brian Carrier at that that really cheesy restaurant
with the pink flamingos. What?
And you went there twice. You went there every night, I think.
It was good food. The food was great. It was like something off the old Miami Vice, right? That old neon outlined pink flamingo. It was very cool. Very, very cool for sure. So, hey, quick question for everybody while Dave's getting stuff set up. I don't know if you're just in the Crowdcast shot itself. Up in your URL, it says Crowdcast, or you're in through the Cyber Social Hub. Either way works. If you're not a member of Cyber Social Hub, I highly recommend it. We're still new. We're still getting going and getting the content flowing and stuff. And that's part of the reason for these talks that we have. It's just a place where cyber investigators or professionals, you don't necessarily even have to be an investigator. You could just be in IT security for that matter. Really, if you deal with technology on any type of basis, come join. It's simply just a social network that is designed for nerds like us. That's it. And have questions about technology. I mean, I talk about anything from Raspberry Pi tech to Python to digital forensics, cybersecurity, some OSINT stuff, whatever. Just go to cybersocialhub.com and sign up for it. And I can actually post a. Dave's got feedback. I muted you, Dave, for just a second until you get that fixed, so I don't go deaf. So when you come back, you can unmute yourself. Just hover above your black screen there, or when your screen comes back, and then there's a mic icon should pop up. So again, Cyber Social Hub. Hang on, I'll just type it in there. If I can type, typing is part of it. cybersocialhub.com. And let me just copy that. There we go. Oh, yeah. What kind of poll should we run about that, Amber? That's a good thing. I'm curious what the talk. Yeah. So what kind of poll should we run? We got another question here. Oh, yeah. Ron. Yeah. Yeah. That's where you answer questions right here. There. I'm done answering that one. Sorry. I saw that last one in there. So what type of poll should we run? Well, I know one right off the get-go. Mixed or malt? That's a question I always ask because hang on a second. Malt or your Amish and There we go. So I will add that. There we go. So I don't know, maybe the Amish drink. I'm completely making that up, that poll. Oh yeah, that's even a better one on Ambers and gin. Yeah. Okay, so stand by. Let's run that one too. I personally I can't vote for because I'm just the guy running it, I guess. Is that I'm gonna see if Dave's back. You back, Dave?
Oh gosh.
I muted him again. Are you back? I muted him again. Okay, so let me create another poll. Again, when you get that mic fixed, you should be able to unmute yourself. All right. Let me what type of person are you? So man, see, I can't pick just one. I wish you could pick like a multiple on there because yeah, I can't keep looking around because my keyboard is like under my mic. And oh, wait a minute, edit. I didn't mean to hit enter. There we go. All right, I can still do this. And yeah, I have to be one of those. I'm a keyboard looker still. And oh my gosh, tequila. Shoo, that one's painful. All right, so there. I got them all now. Okay, I've added the other ones. I think I got them all. So now you notice that that poll probably just changed for you. Probably everyone. I think. All right, cool. Yeah, so I got just a basic thing. There's a little Bacardi, and there's this crazy stuff that it's a squirt bottle, so it's not like Kool-Aid stuff, right? And I literally just mix water, squirt a little of this flavor in it. It's just so I'm not drinking just plain boring water all the time, and I mix some rum in that. That's the consistency of this particular one here. All right, we're gonna try Dave and see if he's back yet. Gel shots or Jello shots? Hang on, Dave. I'm gonna unmute you here, or try to. I can't do it. I can't unmute you. You may have to refresh. Jello brand, so they are doing gel. Oh yeah, I gotcha. So they can't actually say the word Jello. That's funny. Yeah, no, Dave, I can't. Not happening. Not letting me unmute you for some reason. So you may have to refresh your screen. We'll hang out for you, man. We still got 8 minutes or so, 7, or there's no real time that we have to say we're done today. Let me see here. I know we're losing people though because it's just me up here, and I'm pretty boring. Let me see. All right. So I guess. Oh, waiting for Dave to reconnect now. All right, we'll see if that happens. So how many of you guys? I'm going to do another poll. And this totally has to do of if you're a member of Cyber Social. Oh, Dave just completely just popped out of there. He is gone. If you're a member of Cyber Social Hub, if you're on there, everyone should be, right?
Test 1, 2, 3.
Hey, he's back.
How about that?
And I see it back there in the background behind you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Look at that. All right. Hey, well, I stalled as long as I can. So that was just radio, you know. I worked, for those of you who don't know, you could probably guess, but I worked radio. I was actually on the air as a disc jockey is what they were called back then. And, I don't think they say that anymore because it's just weird. And now they call them on-air personalities, right? I guess that's the new.
Or shock jocks.
Yeah, right. No, that definitely wasn't me. I worked overnights, evenings, and I had an afternoon shift. I worked here in Ohio, and then I also worked out in Atlantic City, New Jersey. That was a culture shock for an Ohio boy. I'll tell you what, it was interesting for sure. Yeah, absolutely. When you realize the bars don't close and you're out at the clubs, we start off at a radio broadcast, and we were broadcasting from out at this one place. And man, we're just there having a blast. And, I'm feeling a little snookered up at this particular point. So me and the guy who was co-hosting the broadcast, we walk out and the stinking sun's coming up. Man, that's how long we were in that place. I was like, holy cow. And you don't even realize it. Anyway, what do you got behind you, man? What's back there, Dave?
Hey, well, it's about 92 degrees here, so it's hot. So in the summertime, what I had in mind today was something called a green tea, and it's available as a shooter or as a highball. And it's something that mixes together a bunch of disparate data sources, different alcohol sources.
Yeah.
So what you need to make this is
there's no actual tea in it, though, right? We're not.
No, but it tastes like green tea.
Does it? Oh,
you would need Jameson.
Got it. All right.
Peach schnapps.
Peach schnapps. All right. Man, I'm writing this down. Not that 3, but my memory.
Sour or margarita mix?
What do you got there? Is that margarita mix?
This is margarita mix.
Catching a glare on it. Okay, yeah, there it is. Oh, it's Jose.
All right. So what you basically do, if you want to make a shooter, get your handy cup. And the best part of this is Jameson, right? 1/3.
All right. So what is that? That looked like a lot more than one shot that you just put in there.
No, it's just an oddly shaped Royal Caribbean shot glass.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So this is the peach schnapps.
It's a Dave shot. I believe it.
And this is the margarita mix. So
right.
1/3, 1/3, 1/3.
Yeah.
Get your little lid thing.
Oh, look at you. Is that a Maker's Mark glass?
Yeah.
See that? Look at
when
you.
When you go to Kentucky,
yeah,
it's in Loretto, Kentucky, and you drive in. The only thing there is Maker's Mark and the Nunnery. The Sisters of Loretto welcome you to Maker's Mark.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's all that's there.
That's kind of a weird combination. All right.
Didn't spill yet, but and
that's it. How much did that make? I mean, you're looking at what
it's a shooter,
a highball worth or shooter worth. Yeah, I am like leaning like that's going to help me look and see what you're doing off camera. I'm like so into this. I'm leaning back trying to see.
Here's how much it made.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Okay. So as a shooter, you can sip it. You can drink it all at once if you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's delicious though, and it's kind of like it's kind of halfway between a Lynchburg lemonade and a mojito. But with the mojito, you got to muddle it. You got to get them in. It's a lot of work. So with this, you can serve it as a shooter, or if you want to, if you want to drink it like gin and tonics, just take tonic water, club soda, or my new addiction in life, which is Sprite Zero Sugar Ginger. Really good, not very sweet, but basically just pour it in there, top it off, and now you're a responsible member of society, not doing shots all day long, but you're just having a nice highball cocktail in the afternoon. Right?
It puts you in just a different class of people when you mix it with a Sprite Zero. It's just
club soda, that sort of thing.
Right on. So Amber asked, "Is you're going to be sharing this?" Yeah. Our goal was to get a PDF and actually kick this thing out, but I don't think we put that together yet.
So
but we will.
1/3.
Oh, he's typing it into
See?
chat. You got to do a fancy
We
PDF
can.
with a glass of it, and the whole graphic. That's the marketer in me, right? And then with a still of Dave trying to reconnect. What is happening? Why are things beeping at me? I get alerts. Raj, thank you for joining Cyber Social Hub. It's fun. Contribute or don't, but it's always fun. Just pop in, say hi, and our goal is to just have a lot of fun. It's a place to get away from the noise. The reason I created it was to get away from the noise of some of the mainstream social media platforms. There's only so much stuff I can take in a feed, especially what's going on right now in the world in general, mainly here. But, it's like, just get away. And yeah, as Megan said, Giphy. Yeah, we are licensed. I had to actually apply for a developer license for Giphy to get that included into the site. Yeah, it was absolutely worth it. But we do have gifts, so that's all that matters. Life is good again. You'll see us flood it. Between Megan and I, we're horrible with throwing those out there. Yeah, Megan, that's all she contributes for the most part. But they're good though. It's not like you're just throwing out random ones. They're well thought out. So Jack, what is this one, Dave? That you're Jack and lemonade and a splash of tonic. Wait a minute. Where did you go with that one?
Lynchburg lemonade is.
Oh, that's right. Because Megan asked earlier what was Lynchburg lemonade, and she didn't ask in a question.
Yeah, she's asking in the chat.
That's funny. So Jack lemonade and a splash of. So are those equal on that one as well, or is that?
No. That would be more like a traditional gin and tonic, where it'd be shot and a half of Jack Daniels, fill it up with lemonade, and the only reason that you add tonic to it is just to give it a little bit of a fizz.
Okay, and then fill with lemonade. I'm writing this stuff down.
Yeah,
because I'm going to be trying that, and then fill with tonic. All right.
And then the last one. Does everybody know what an Irish car bomb is in terms of a drink? In terms of a terrorist device or anything? Okay, so a traditional Irish car bomb is you basically take a glass of Guinness.
I think
you
Ron's
drop
got
in a shot of Bailey's and a shot of Jameson.
Bailey's and Jameson along with Guinness, huh?
Fill up a draft of Guinness, about 3/4 of the way full. It needs to be in a glass.
Okay.
And whatever vessel you use, you don't want to fill it to the top, because you're going to be doing you're going to drop shot glasses into it.
Oh, okay. So kind of like what was that other thing that always caught myself on fire with it? Flaming Dr. Pepper or whatever it was.
Same concept, right?
Why would you ever combine alcohol, drunks, and fire? I've never understood this. I'm like, ooh, let's do this. Drop it in. It's on fire.
The world can be a crappy place sometimes.
Right? That's great.
Oh man.
All right, hang on, I missed it. So because I got distracted. So 3/4 fill it up with Guinness on your draft, and then we started talking about what we're dropping. What are you dropping?
So you drop in a shot of Bailey's.
Mm-hmm. Is that with the glass, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you drop in a shot of Jameson. That's a traditional Irish car bomb.
Another glass?
Mm-hmm.
You don't pour that one in. So you need a big glass. You're talking.
Bomb in, it all thumbs up.
Okay. And you got to just and that's traditionally you chug that whole thing, right? Is that still all right? All right. That's
So back in March, at the start of the COVID-19 thing, we have a research lab upstairs here that takes care of some of these types of endeavors. And we stumbled upon something called screwball.
Screwball.
Screwball is peanut butter whiskey.
I've had that. It's
And
amazing.
I love peanut butter. I love whiskey, but putting peanut butter and whiskey together is like, oh.
Yeah, see, when I first had it, I was out with my father-in-law and my brother-in-law, and we were already a little tipsy. Thank God for Uber. And this guy we're looking for something new, and some guy setting 3 or 4 down on the bar, a very friendly town I'm in, by the way. And there's more bars here in this little 1 block run intersection town than there are churches, I think, in the state. So it's a lot. No, I'm exaggerating, obviously, but the guys, they're all real friendly, and they goes, no, you got to try this Screwball thing. And I thought it was excellent. Of course, I was already tipsy. It's just like I can sing really well in my own ears when I'm drinking. So it could have been that scenario.
I agree with you. I thought it was like going to be hideous. The thing that scared me most about it is I assumed that it would be thick, like a liqueur.
Yeah.
And a whiskey and a liqueur like that ain't my bag. So what we did is we replaced in a Irish car bomb, replace the Jameson with Screwball, and you get peanut butter car bombs. So the Guinness with the peanut butter taste and the Baileys, oh my gosh.
So you're replacing which one with the Screwball?
The Jameson gets replaced with the Screwball. So it's
that's interesting. Dave, you should just write a book of random drink recipes, DFIR drink recipes. And man, that's an awesome lead gen for you right there.
There you go.
You get a million of them. Drinks for Drunks trademark. Gotcha. That's pretty awesome. See, now I got to go get some of that. I don't know if my wife would drink that or not.
That's kind of fun. It's pretty popular nowadays.
There's a couple questions, Dave.
Oh, that's good.
What's in your kegerator right now? He's got a slide over like you didn't already know. Shiner Bach. Right on.
Shiner Bach.
All right, one more. This one's from Ron down here. Dave, have you had the last dab XXX? There's a link. I'll let you click the link and take a look. You can probably see it in the
look at that
question.
website. Oh my gosh.
So have you tried that before?
No, but I'm in.
All right.
Yeah. Chocolate pepper. Ooh.
Yeah, if you guys want to see that, it's still in the ask a question, but I think there's 2. I don't know what you guys can see or what you're not. It's in the answered section now. So, yeah.
If you click on the link, it says it's $20. Add to cart. Limit 2 per person due to COVID-19.
So 3 out of the question completely. You're considered not enough supply.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's awesome. So real quick, because I know we've gone over, which I don't really care if we've gone over or not, but trials of Truxton.
Yeah,
just go
to truxtonforensics.com and just go up to Truxton software and sign up for a demo. Free 30-day demo.
Yeah, there's a green button down somewhere. It says Truxton Forensics down there.
Just click on that.
Click it. Demo. Right on. All right. Any last minute questions for anyone? Oh, wait, we got to go over the polls here real quick before we jump out of here, because I was just really randomly creating these things here as we went. So mixed or malt, everyone's a mix. Wow. That's surprising. Good deal. Good deal. No Amish in here. All right. Then it says, I don't know. Can you guys see the results of these things too as they're going out? I don't know if you can see those. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then, gin does win. What type of person are you? It was vodka, gin, whiskey, rum, tequila. Now, my vote, which if I could have voted, I
was
can't
gonna
vote.
get gin too.
Yeah, I would have voted rum. I'm a rum or whiskey. It's a close between those, depending on whether I want to, you know, in my youth, out of the military, we were going to fight or not. I guess I don't know. Depending on whether it was whiskey or rum. Oh, I'm too old for that craziness now. So yeah, so Jim would have won regardless.
Yeah,
that's good. All right, and the last one, member of Cyber Social. Yes, everybody's a member, which is good. There's 6 people in here, though. I think one person is kind of staying quiet in here. Who haven't we heard from here?
stalking.
Cyber FC. Somebody's just kind of silently sending in here. Yep. Hashtag lurker.
That's Cyber Football Club. That's soccer.
Is it? Oh, that's right. I guess it would be.
Yeah.
That's right. If you're anywhere else but the U.S. Exactly. And I don't know why
it's the only live sport except for racing on right now, I think.
Yeah. Well, it makes more sense that what they call football versus what we call football. Because I was shocked when I first started traveling. Again, non-cultured boy from Ohio here. Okay, small town in Ohio.
Cultured in a different way.
Yeah, it's not like I grew up in a city even. Literally, you'd walk out my front door where I grew up, and there was a country road, and then on the other side of said country road was either cornfield or beans, depending on what was the year cycle of that crop. If those of you who know what I'm talking about know exactly that they rotate crops for the nutrients in the soil. I know too much about farming, and I'm not a farmer either. But, and then I travel overseas, and man, I learn all kinds of stuff when I work for a large forensic company. And, they said they call it football. I'm like, what? What are you calling football? I guess it makes more sense because you actually use your feet versus American football. Does anyone know how American football got its stinking name besides a ripoff?
I don't know. I could never figure out why a soccer field was called a pitch.
I didn't know that. Somebody's got Google. Megan's usually pretty quick with the Google.
So why is it a pitch?
Oh. All right.
Is it because it's kind of concave, so the water drains off of it?
Ron's got the better answer. He had an alligator living in the canal next to his house. There was no playing in the yard or sending the puppies out you can go play in the grass. one puppy short. Jesus.
Football when you have alligators.
Yeah, you don't play football out in the grass, man.
Yeah. How fast is he?
The ball rolls near the canal. It's like, well, it's gone. It's kind of like the Cajun version of what was that movie? The Sandlot, right? Oh. Instead of the dog, it was the big ass alligator.
Oh my gosh!
Sorry.
My first job out of college was as the technical editor of it was a place that was called Boat US, and they sold insurance and parts for boats. Every part you could ever need for a boat. Mm-hmm. And I was with them for maybe a year, and then I got to hire my first employee. And so we put it back then. There was really very little internet except for news groups and that sort of stuff. So we put an ad in the newspaper, right?
BBS boards, dial-in ones, and
so you got a bunch of resumes and that sort of stuff. And the third guy that I interviewed came in, and he was this really polite Southern drawl kind of kid.
Yeah,
and he was from Louisiana, and I was like, oh man. And so me being me, I was like, let's talk about jambalaya, all that good stuff, crawfish. Anyway, looked at his resume, and he was at LSU, and his last job before coming up to the DC area, his wife got recruited by CIA and went to work for them. Mm-hmm. His last job was as the book editor for Justin Wilson. So if you remember way back when in public TV, Justin Wilson was the guy that would sit out in his backyard on the bayou. He had these big dogs, and he would just grill stuff, and he'd say, guarantee.
Yes.
So if you look up, Google, is worth Googling Justin Wilson.
No, I know exactly. As soon as I saw everybody posted in chat too, and when you did the imitation, it's like,
oh my
the
God.
Memory came back.
And the dogs would run by kind of like a Christmas story. There was no set. He's out there on his big smoker grill and stuff. It was awesome. And no commercials. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Maybe,
Yeah, he got the job.
Strive for.
Yeah, I didn't need to do any further interviews.
Oh, that's great. Well, Dave, I'm going to write these recipes up, and I'm going to kick them out to people, and we'll make it available as a download on the hub, and we can kick them out to the registered people.
And then when you put this in the playback, all I ask is that you remember the old days when they would lose the signal at the TV station. They'd have that test pattern with the Indian in the middle,
right,
and have that whistling music.
Right on.
The national anthem.
Well, the beauty about Crowdcast, we don't have to do anything. As soon as I hit that end broadcast button, it does everything for me, minus the Indian in the color wheel, whatever that thing was. All right, Dave. Hey, thanks for popping in, man. I appreciate it. It's always fun
I'm sorry
chatting with you. I'm sure we could go probably another half hour or longer just talking about random stuff. It's good stuff. But so thank you so much. Truxton Forensics, the button will remain through the broadcast, the rebroadcast. And if you guys miss like maybe the first little bit or whatever, it takes about 2 minutes literally. And then this thing's ready to rock again at the same link. So you don't have to go somewhere else and just hit, and you're ready to go. All right. But if you want a demo again of Truxton Forensics, just hit the button, go to the demo. You'll see it on their website. And again, Dave, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it. It was fun.
Cheers.
All right. Hey, thanks everybody. Yep. Cheers. Take care.
Bye-bye.
See ya.